Good morning, everyone. I'm Rick Zanotti, and welcome to eLearn Chat, episode number 64. It is June 20th, about 8:05 in the morning on 8:05 Pacific time. Wherever you are, we hope you're having a great day. And before we get started, let me introduce you to our co-host, the one and only Colleen Sun Lee. Hey, Colleen, how are you?
Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Mr. Fearless Leader. How are you
I
today?
am very well, sultry. And so we have a special crew today. We've got more than one guest. We were taken by surprise. We've got about 6 guests today. But before we get to our guests, we're going to run a quick promotion from our friend and sponsor, Brian Jones from eLearning Art. Here we go. Hi, I'm Rick Zanotti. I'm a professional developer, and I need people. I need lots of people from all walks of life and in all poses. I need sequences of people for my e-learning courses. Where do I go? I go to www.elearningart.com. Why? They're the best. Not only are they well priced, but they've got the best selection and quality of anyone in the industry. You can too. Go to www.elearningart.com. Click on Subscriptions. And in the Where Did You Hear About Us field, click and type in eLearn Chat. That'll qualify for even bigger savings. But you better do it now. This offer is only good through July 6th. That's elearningart.com. Go where the professionals go. Well, before we continue, this is a unique show. This is our first where we have actually more than 1 or 2 guests. Looks like we've got about 6 guests in the room right now, and joining us is the one and only, the inimicable Dr. Alan Partridge from Adobe. Hey, Alan, how are you?
Hey, Rick, how are you?
I am doing great, and we're so glad you could join us. And this is kind of like a little announcement party we're having today.
It is very much like a little announcement party. We're so incredibly excited to be able to announce that Adobe Captivate 6 is now available for download. We're totally thrilled. We're just absolutely overwhelmed. We launched on Friday, and we've had such a huge response. It's been amazing. I don't think that I can ever recall being a part of a software launch that's had such a huge positive feedback right out of the gate. We've been here at eMlearnCon all day yesterday. People were going nuts. People jumping up and down, telling me all kinds of crazy things. One person even told me that she was going to sell a couple of children if she had to just to get a copy of Captivate 6. So lots of fun, lots of craziness, lots of happiness and excitement about the new software. In the room here with me today, I've got Dr. Pooja Jaising, one of Adobe's other evangelists. I've got Steve Howard. I also have Dr. Nancy Reyes.
I think we've got somebody dialing.
And Dr.
There might be a cell phone or something on the table vibrating.
Is there a cell phone or something vibrating on the table?
I think there possibly is a cell phone or something vibrating.
Okay, I'm sorry, we couldn't hear who you were introducing. If you could reintroduce him.
Sure, absolutely. So I've got Dr. Pooja Jaising, Adobe Evangelist. I've got Steve Howard here in the room with me. I've also got Dr. Risa Blair somewhere. I think Risa's here. We've lost her in the depths of this room. And then Dr. Nancy Reyes is here with me as well. So a bunch of really cool folks from the social media sphere and all e-learning developers who use Captivate, and here for the fun, here for the joy.
That sounds great. That sounds real good. Are they going to be on later, or are they just your audience?
You know, we can throw them on here and there as you like. So
Okay.
if you want to ask them questions, I'll lean them in and we can throw them on the mic and hit them on the spot with all kinds of crazy questions.
That sounds good. Well, you know, there's some great stuff happening with Adobe. I mean, first you had the CS6 release, which was pretty mind-boggling. A lot of people are thrilled about that. And even more so is the fact that now Adobe, even the Master Collection, which was not a cheap collection, it was almost $3,000, is literally in the realm of just about everybody at 49 or anywhere from 29 to 49 bucks a month. That's nothing for what you get. And I heard that the new pricing for Captivate just came out. I think starting at 19 bucks a month.
Yeah, the new pricing is out now for Captivate on subscription. It's actually $19.99 a month. If you go with the annual subscription, you pay that annual subscription month by month, but you go into a one-year contract similar to like a cable kind of a deal. It's a lot of relief there for people in the e-learning space because it is so incredibly inexpensive.
Yep,
it's also available month to month if people want to just do a month to month for $29.99. And of course, we still have the traditional box copy deliverable that's available as well. So you've got a lot of choices in terms of the ways that you can do it, and it's available for upgrade at stacked upgrade prices from Captivate 4, 5, and 5.5.
That's great. I mean, that is very unique pricing for the e-learning market, and we've already talked to a lot of clients we have that use Captivate, and they were going, I don't know if we want to upgrade. And I told them, here's the price. Oh, instant attention. These are big companies. Instant attention. You know, big companies are cheap. They don't want to spend the money, but all of a sudden, it's like, hey, we can do that's really reasonable. So,
well, yeah, and you know the other advantage of that subscription pricing is you automatically get all the updates.
That's true.
Even as small updates come or big updates, if features are rolled in between major updates, all of that goes to you automatically. We've already seen some of that with the Master Collection suite. If you get that, the Creative Cloud through Adobe, we've already seen them adding applications to that and all kinds of additional functionality as we go. So that's really the way that Adobe sees as the future for software delivery. I think a lot of people are responding to what is a really sensible and smart way to deliver software, the way that people really want it to be delivered. We all have those preferences, and being able to acquire the software, pay for it month to month, always be up to date on the latest updates. Yeah. That's really the way to go.
Yeah, it's a great way to go.
So, Alan, how does the subscription process work? I mean, where's the software? You know, usually when you buy it out of the box, you download it to your local drive. How does it work when it's subscription based?
Excellent question, Colleen. This really surprises people when they find this out. But when any of the Adobe software, when you subscribe, you're actually still able to download every application down onto your hard drive. So you don't have to be on a network. You don't have to worry, am I going to be connected so I can use my software? It just comes down like a normal application. It only calls home once every 30 days to verify the status of your subscription.
Okay.
You just have to be connected once every 30 days, and it'll verify and validate that your account's up to date. And then that's the only time that the subscription really has any effect on you. Other than that, it has a really nice interface for downloading, and you get your software installed locally. It's all really nice and smooth process.
So if you created any type of project in the subscription-based version, it's all stored locally, right? There's no cloud-based storage of your projects?
Yeah, it's initially all stored locally, assuming you use the software in the normal fashion. There are a few features that come with, like, for example, if you went with the Creative Cloud, there are a few features that come with that actually allow you to share documents online through a common Creative Cloud service. But those are specific, you specifically say, I want to put this on the Creative Cloud, I want to share it with this person specifically or these people specifically. So by default, all that software, you just save it, locally like you would for your normal files.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's really
and
cool.
from what I've heard, I guess next
been loving
version
it.
of Captivate, or one of the dot versions, is going to be also cloud-based, or I guess they'll have access to the Creative Cloud.
Yeah, I can't verify or deny, what might happen.
I've heard rumors that that's coming.
Who told you that?
I don't remember. It was one of those. One of those Adobe people.
Somebody told you and they weren't supposed to, Rick. You heard it first on eLearn Chat.
but no idea when.
Yes.
Moving right along.
Really, we have not been drinking. There are
That's
no
good.
mimosas in the room. Only coffee.
So a lot of people are pretty excited about some of the new features and some of the new things going on. And I'll take a little bit of credit for one of them, because I hassled everybody for years on this one. That's the UI changes.
Well, you should take a lot of credit for that, Rick. I mean, absolutely, you're to credit for a lot of kind of driving home the importance of visibility and the importance of contrast in the overall interface. And of course, I mean, you were not alone in saying so.
No,
Lots of people said it, but you said it passionately in a way that really got it, to float to the top of the queue and got it a lot of attention. I think that's something you should really be proud about.
No, I'm happy, and also it's I've noticed it in house as people started looking at it where we are. And the first comment, the very first comment people said is, hey, this looks really good. I can read it. It's clear. It's sharp. The fonts are bigger. Everybody was saying that, and from our 19-year-old intern on up. So this is pretty good.
Exactly, absolutely. And the XD team deserves a lot of credit. They went through several iterations. They really examined it carefully. They thought a lot about what the contrast would be, how that would influence the overall impact of the application. They really tried to listen to everything that all of the testers had been telling them and really understand, what is it like to work with Captivate all day, day after day, and how can we make that an easier to use experience, a more attractive to use experience, something that's more legible, something that is easier to, kind of exist with and coexist with for a long period of time. I think they've done an amazing job. It's one of those kind of breathtaking things. Now,
Yeah.
would you like me to share my screen with you and show you a little bit of Captivate now?
I think that would be great. Let me give you full screen right now. So you are on full screen.
All right, excellent. I will go here and do the magic thing, and I'm going to share screen with you guys.
And by the way, for all those who haven't followed Alan or his podcast, he did one on LMS, which I was chuckling about because it was almost an exact duplicate of what I just did for the Adobe webinars. You did a really good job on explaining all the little nuances of getting an LMS working with Captivate. That was a good one.
Excellent, thank you. We've been doing tutorials here for quite some time and really enjoying it. We've actually produced several in a row. I'm hoping, can you still hear me, Rick?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So we've actually done several tutorials in a row, and I'm seeing that my screen sharing function is behaving badly, and I'm not sure why. Let's see if it's sort of spinning.
Oh, it's probably thinking.
And it's,
In the meantime, Alan, I have a question from Jeff in the chat room, and he'd like to know how come you guys charge more outside of the United States for the software?
That's an excellent question, Jeff, and it's a difficult question to answer. There's a specific pricing policy that has to do with the relative cost of the software depending on where the location is for delivery. And I don't know all of the ins and outs, but it's certainly something that I think that Adobe has some information up online about that. And if you check with me after the call, I can try to give you a more detailed overview of specifics, to what that cost differential is between the different countries. My stuttering there is because I'm clicking on a button here in Skype and it's not doing what I want it to. We'll see if it will do what I want it to do. Will it do what I want it to do?
Skype is great, but every so often it just doesn't cooperate.
Microsoft is giving me a bad time. Let's see.
Okay, your screen.
Let's see. What happened there?
It looks like
Am I sharing?
You went smaller. You're not sharing yet. You only have one monitor, right?
I think that's probably his avatar, maybe.
Yes. You went off video, so you turned the video off, but you're not sharing yet. Oh, wait.
It's twirling.
I see the background behind you.
Oh,
you know what? Click on the
something
background behind you and see if that brings... There you go.
There we go. All right. So I'm becoming a master of the ins and outs of Skype sharing. This is the new Captivate interface. Hopefully you can see my screen and you can see the new Captivate interface.
Yeah,
and,
I think
it's absolutely beautiful. It's a simple, plain, clean, great high contrast, very legible. One of the first things that people notice when they first see the new Captivate interface is they actually see the new themes across the top. And we have several themes that come with Captivate right out of the box. And those themes include things like these clouds and like the different colors and that sort of thing. And all the themes are fully customizable. The themes are actually able to be used for a variety of purposes. They actually will modify the various objects that are inserted into your project based on that theme. So everything from the layout on the master slide to the kinds of bits and pieces that you have, all the way through to the captions that you insert and other kinds of elements are all actually available inside of that theme. It's a packet of everything that you would do to have a kind of a visible elements in your project. So you can see all kinds of detail there. If I, for example, wanted to work with this particular slide, the second one, and I wanted to give it a slightly different kind of a layout, I could simply click on it and then choose something like this content centerpiece. Once that content centerpiece is in place, I'm able to actually then work with the automatic inserts that come right inside that placeholder, and I can actually insert anything that I want to. I can insert an image or a piece of Flash content or any of that kind of thing. You'll probably recognize this, Rick. This is one of my paintings, and I can just drop that in like that, just a couple of clicks, and voila, we've got automatically, we've got the ease of putting those kinds of pieces in, and the layouts are handled for us, and so it's just a really nice, convenient way to be able to handle all that.
Hey, Alan,
it's
we're
also
not
integrated.
seeing, Alan,
go ahead.
we're not seeing you full screen on the, we're seeing part of the interface. Are you seeing the same thing, Colleen?
Hang
Yeah,
on, yeah.
and I think it has probably something to do with maybe the screen resolution or something. We've had this before when we do demos where you don't see the entire screen.
Let's see what happens if we drop it down. We'll drop it to 1024 by 768.
Okay.
And see if that gives us the love. Because we like it when it gives us
We were seeing
the
about 2/3 of the screen, and then it was getting cut off top and side.
All right. I think that's possibly working better. Is that working better?
I just see your Skype interface. You're going to have to click behind it, and let's see.
Let's see what we've got now.
So far, it's still...
No,
I see it full... Well, let me try one thing. I see it full screen here. Let me check one thing on my system. Make sure it's not something else. Just do a quick
getting
check.
cut off in the middle, maybe. Ah, there it goes. See, Rick has magic powers.
Did it go full
Nobody
screen?
knows how he gets the magic powers, but he has them. It's amazing.
Full screen. There we go.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, let me zoom you back in so we can see everything. Are you seeing full screen now?
Yeah, Rick, I think we've got full screen now.
Okay.
Oh, it just zoomed in again.
What is going on? Let me try one more thing. Oh, you know what? Maybe let me unzoom you here. Maybe that's part of the problem. There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can
That's
probably
the one.
minimize
Looks fantastic.
You can probably minimize that box that says you and I are on. I see a Skype box. Oh. I know why it's doing that. No, that's on.
What was that? Okay. All right. So, so you can see the primary Captivate interface there. And once you've got the Captivate interface, obviously you can add any of those master slides, and you can use any of the pre-built templates. One of the nice things is that you can actually dynamically change those. So even if you decide along the line, you know, you don't like this blue cloud, you'd rather use the Blackboard interface, you can use that other interface and just automatically change it over. And it doesn't matter that you've already got content in there, you just poof, automatically change it over and you have all your content. It also does this with quizzes. So if I go in and I say, okay, I want to add some question slides, it'll actually remember all the content from the question slides as well. It'll bring those across. And then voila, you've got your questions. They're all pre-formatted. Notice how nice they look, all pretty and everything. And even with the question slides, if you go in and you make some change after the fact, it'll actually adopt all of the settings of the question slides. And you can actually make changes to those. You can adapt those. You can create your own templates, your master control themes from scratch. It also syncs all of that up with your skins. So the skins are automatically matched up to the overall look and feel of the project. So you can see here, the skin is already set up to match that particular project, and you can go to the table of contents and see that you've got the table of contents that fits that skin as well. So it's a really nice, convenient way to be able to have all of your content linked up really simply and not have to do all kinds of crazy stuff to get it there. Now, Rick, I don't know, I think you've seen this, but we actually have a new feature in there that we call Smart Shapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are really nice.
Just awesome. You actually, all you do is you grab one of those Smart Shapes and then drag it out onto the stage area like so. They're automatically synced to your theme. So in this case, this one knows that it's meant to be gray because it matches up with that particular theme. In addition to that, they're editable and they're vector-based. So you can do things like move the graphic around and get the arrowhead of that Smart Shape to go where you want it to. You can go in there and you can actually edit that piece of content as well. So if you want to grab the content, maybe I want to put it over here on this side like so, and I want to go in and actually edit it and have it say, hello everyone, like that. I can just type all that content in. And then notice over here on the top of the property inspector, there's a new property, use as button. All you have to do is click to use as button, and automatically that shape is now an interactive button. It has an action, and you can automatically perform any of Captivate's actions just by using that button. Notice we've added a new one here, play audio. That's a particular favorite. It's awesome to be able to just automatically go in and play an audio based on clicking some kind of a button and play it over and over again. We've also added these new characters. They're super cool. You just insert them from the menu, click on character. They're all human characters. We have a variety of different types, from business to casual. We've got illustrated and medicine. You just click on the character that you want to use, and then there are a number of poses available for each character. And then once you've done, you click OK. And I noticed, Rick, at the beginning, you had an ad from eLearning Art, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And eLearning Art is one of the providers of the assets that are in the new Captivate 6. So Captivate 6 comes out of the box with many, many assets. And some of them come from eLearning Art, and some of them come from eLearning Brothers, both of whom are really the industry leaders when it comes to providing cutout shapes, cutout figures, templates, themes, all of those kinds of things. So they've done an amazing job in both cases. They've really provided us with some beautiful, beautiful assets. And it's awesome because everybody's going to be able to use all of that. And that, you know, the one other thing I'd mention about this is that Captivate's middle name is unquestionably customized. And you can absolutely customize all of this content. So if you want to go in and add your own cutouts that you have in your library from years and years of using them, no problem. In fact, we've got a video up already on how to take those assets and put them into the folder structure so that automatically when you go to insert a character, your cutouts will actually be added to the cutouts that exist inside of the Captivate interface. You can insert them automatically right from inside the interface. You guys have any?
Where are some of the places that someone who's learning Captivate for the first time can go to check out tutorials or video? Or I know you guys have a really active Facebook page, but where else can they go?
That's a great question, Colleen. You know, the Facebook page is a great place to start. We have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Adobe Captivate. And that page is absolutely insane. We have an enormous number of people that are members of that group. And I think we're almost 40,000 now. And you can see that virtually every article from around the web that comes out, we automatically will aggregate that content into the Facebook stream. So it just goes on and on. We also have the blog, the Captivate blog. So if you go to blogs.adobe.com/Captivate, that's blogs.adobe.com/Captivate, there you'll actually find articles about the latest news and information about Captivate. You'll find these training sessions, which are actual hands-on training sessions with eLearning Evangelists from Adobe. There are examples of Captivate files there that you can use, links to the Facebook page, and our e-seminars. On Wednesdays, we have e-seminars. In fact, we'll have one right after today's session on eLearn Chat. And those e-seminars are on all different topics, including topics that are general to e-learning, like basic concepts in e-learning and psychology of e-learning, how to work with graphics and how to do composition and layout for your e-learning. Really, any topic under the sun. I think Rick, in fact, did one about 2 weeks ago, didn't you, Rick?
Last week.
Last week, yeah, exactly. So we have all kinds of great resources there. We also have at tv.adobe.com. If you go to tv.adobe.com, you're going to find something there called channels. And in the channels, one of the channels is e-learning channel. There in the e-learning channel, you'll find the latest resources in terms of videos for Captivate 6. So you can see the very top element inside of the Adobe TV e-learning channel is all about Captivate 6. There's an entire channel there dedicated to Captivate 6 already. We also have a number of tutorial videos that are available all about Captivate 6. And we also have a YouTube channel, because we should, right? We should have everything. youtube.com/Adobe eLearning. So if you go to youtube.com/Adobe eLearning, you'll find all the latest videos as well. And you'll find, how many, Pooja, how many did we do? We did 18 videos for the Captivate 6.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the tutorials. So 18 just tutorials on features specifically. Then on new features, yeah. And then we did, for Adobe TV, I think we did like 9 videos. And for the website, we did, so we've got so many videos we can't even hardly see straight. And we're going to be doing e-seminars and training all about Adobe Captivate 6 for the next, well, forever. But really intensively focused on the features and how to get yourself upgraded. We'll be doing those over the next month and a half, something like that. It's just nonstop wonders. Now, Rick, there's one more thing that I want to show you, especially in the new Captivate 6, and that is the new video, high-definition video recording, because it's absolutely amazing. And it'll be a good challenge for Captivate because we're running Skype, we're recording, we're doing a screencast. At the same time, we're running Captivate, and now I'm going to tell it to run a high-definition video recording. So what you do is you do File, and then Record New Video Demo, just like that. And automatically, you'll get Captivate to launch up a recording window that will allow you to record something on your computer. I want to record an application, and I want to record specifically this piece. And I'm going to use the Cooler color site from Adobe. I don't know if you've seen the Adobe Cooler color site, but it's absolutely cool. So I'm going to try and use that Cooler color site, and then just
I've used it. It's a really great resource.
Isn't it awesome?
Mm-hmm. So it's really cool.
Create some new color here on the Cooler color site. We'll see. And I'm definitely challenging my machine because the poor thing is struggling. It's saying, "Okay, can you do it?" Yes. Okay. Between Skype and me, we're kind of killing, but we'll see. So I'm recording. As I record, I'm actually recording all of that motion, that subtle motion of the color, and it's actually recording all that inside of Captivate. Now, once it's done that, I can hit the End key on my keyboard, or I can click on Captivate down in the tray, and it'll automatically finalize the video recording. And automatically, look at that, how immediately it started playing the content back. Look at the bottom, and you'll see this is actually Captivate running. It's actually playing the video back. And if you wanted, you could go straight to an MP4 output, or you can go to a YouTube output. You can also edit this file. You just click on Edit, and automatically it'll snap to the edited location, and then there you'll have an edit timeline for the video. You can add, pan, and zoom. It's so simple to do. I know one user had some difficulty finding it, but you just click on the timeline, and then you click on pan and zoom. So really simple to find. All right, so once you've found it, all you have to do is just click here on the box, and then you drag like that, and then you surround the area just like that with your box. That box is going to represent the zoomed area, and you can adjust the speed. Now watch that little tail on the timeline. You see the little tail? That tail is actually the ramp showing you how long that particular transition is going to take. And I love this. Look what the engineers did. You can just grab the magnifying glass, the zoom, and just drag it on the timeline. This could not be more simple. I mean, this has got to be the simplest video editing tool that I've ever seen to use. It's so easy to use. You put in your zoom effect just like that, move it where you want it. And then, of course, what good would zoom be without pan? So to do that, just add another pan and zoom. And then all you have to do to pan is just move the box over to a new position. So really simple, really straightforward. It really doesn't take a lot to learn. You can scrub the timeline so you can actually see it by grabbing a hold of that marker. You can also play the content back just by clicking on play. And look at that, how nice that zoom is. And then boom, we go right to the pan. And those are the kinds of things that you want in a video kind of a solution. So it's really nice to have. You can split the video like that, just click split. And then you can even take that video and kind of move it. So you can put it in a new location if you want to. I want to put mine over a little bit, probably not that far. But I want to put it over a little bit. And I'm going to move it back just a little bit because I went a little too far. I went a little crazy. I'll come back now. There we go. That's a little closer. And I'm just going to scale that back up so we can see nice. Now, you see I've got video here on the left and I've got video on the right, but a big opening hole in the middle. The nice thing is that I can even insert any kind of non-interactive media from Captivate right into my video recording. All I have to do is click Insert, and then Insert Image, and then I can insert any image that happens to be on my computer. And I'll just insert that big old lion, and in he goes. Notice that it created a new element on the timeline of the video. I can move that around. All I have to do is grab it to drag it, or if I want, I can grab it on the end to extend extend it, and now I've got that new piece of video, that new film, or the picture between the two pieces of video. These diamonds are transitions. Just click on a diamond, and when you click on that diamond, it opens up the transition box, and you can choose from any of the pre-built transitions. There's a huge variety of them, so you've got lots of choices. One person yesterday in a demo was they were all talking about how many video transitions are in there, and he said, a heart. Do you have a heart? Do not have a heart transition, but I'll put in a request just for you. He absolutely wanted to see that heart transition. So there are a variety of them, and you'll notice they even preview there in the side. Once you have that ready, all you have to do is hit rewind again and then play, and you'll notice now, remember we zoomed in, so there's our zoom effect. Then our pan to the left, zoom like that. Now the transition is going to roll right up for us, and then we can go out to the out transition, and then automatically we'll get that out transition. So it's really easy to apply those effects and get really nice, clean, beautiful video. Nice thing is that all of those kinds of things, like the characters that I showed you before, you can take any of those characters and just drop them right in on top. You can drop in a picture-in-picture video. You can drop in one of those smart shapes. So you really do have tremendous power when it comes to assigning these bits and pieces and working with the video and having the kind of experience that you really want to have. So I'm going to turn back to normal video. Let's see if I can make that happen.
Okay, there you are.
We'll see how. Hey!
Let me get you full screen again. There we go.
Hopefully you can see me. Can you see me okay?
Yep. Yep.
So we're incredibly excited. I mean, we're getting such huge positive feedback when it comes to folks talking about the new Captivate, and I will...
and those are just some of the features. There's quite a few new features in this one. All sorts of good stuff. For example, one thing a lot of people always want is virtual buttons that you can have on from the beginning to the end. You can do that with Smart Shapes now. You can just put a button shape in there in your master slides, and that'll stay on forever, and you could actually attach things to it. It's pretty cool.
Exactly right. One of our favorites is actually that ability to be able to do that with putting your elements onto that master slide. It's a really nice new feature. And there are so many of those nice new features.
Alan, you guys probably get a lot of requests from users for particular features. What was one feature that's included now in Captivate 6 that was highly requested that was not included in Captivate 5.5 or any of the other previous versions?
One of the ones that doesn't get as much celebrated as it should, that the users really requested, was grouping objects on the timeline. Mm-hmm. Grouping on the it's incredible. All you do is you just select them and hit Control-G, boom, they're all grouped together. And so you can make like a light box, a complex set of individual objects that are all now tied together in one group. You can have different kinds of interactive elements in there. You can have a group reference. They get a group name. If you're like Leva and you're into the advanced actions and you want to be able to reference that whole group at once, hide it all at once or show it all at once, you can do that now. So it's a wonderful. It's also wonderful from a viewpoint of, you know, I'm an old multimedia developer, so my multimedia timeline use goes all the way back to I guess the late 80s. Really?
Wow.
That's scary, right? Okay, so it goes back a long way. And one of the things about timelines is they stack up really quickly, and you end up with lots of things on a timeline. And eventually, you don't have enough room to put things. So groups actually have little arrows that let you collapse them. So you can say, okay, well, these 10 things are in this group. I'll just collapse it, and now you have all that room on your timeline. So it's beautiful for that. It's beautiful for light boxing or for putting together group collections. And everything remains fully editable even inside the group. So it's really nicely done.
I think everyone is speechless.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to actually catch up with, I was focusing mainly on the demo that Alan was doing, and so now I'm trying to catch up with the question, if there are any questions in the chat room right now.
I think Steve Howard is saying he loves grouping. Steve, say it in person. Come here, Steve. Steve Howard's sitting behind me on the couch, and he's chatting in the chat room. And I think that's a testament to exactly how it is today, right? He would
Yeah,
rather
he's actually helping me out. He's answering some of the questions in the chat room about including video in
you grouping?
and hotspots.
I've been having fun with Captivate, so.
Wait, we have to bring you in this way.
Oh.
Do like this. Wait, is that right? Have we got this right, Rick? Lean in this
I
way
think
now.
you've got it right. Let's see. You're leaning towards the camera left, so he is right there. You can see him. He's a little high. Hey, there you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear Steve? Okay.
I can hear him fine. He's getting younger every time I see him. I don't know what he does.
Weird.
So, Steve, you like the grouping?
I like the grouping. I like the video workflow actually, because Pooja and I are going to be talking about it in about an hour or two here. What's the things? The characters is really interesting because we've been using characters in our training for the last 18 months or so. So now having that built in, it's like, ooh, we're all doing the same as everybody else now.
Yeah, you said you were actually making the character packs already, right? Because you've got pre-cutouts and...
Yeah, we already had like 1,500 or so character images from eLearning Art and some other places.
Yeah.
So I've already been converting those and putting them into the panel so that I can use those too.
And it's working the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Pops in, makes a new character.
But I also have started looking at using that not only for characters, but like we have a hand pack. So photographs of hands in different poses and just other images. And so now we're just going to use it as a library of images, not only characters.
Yeah, because the system doesn't care whether they're characters or what they are.
Exactly.
So you could use it. That's really cool, actually. You could really expand that and make it anything you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
Someone in the chat room, Alan, wants to know who your e-learning evangelists are.
People are saying hi about my accent. It's the best accent I've got. I'm sorry.
Who our e-learning evangelists are?
Yeah.
Do you mean the ones who work for Adobe?
Yes, the ones who do.
Oh, okay. So Adobe has 3 e-learning evangelists, myself, Dr. Alan Partridge, and sitting beside me, Dr. Pooja Jaising. I'm going to make her lean into the camera too.
Yeah, Pooja was on a couple weeks ago.
Hello, Pooja.
Dr. Pooja Jaising. She is another e-learning evangelist with Adobe. And then we were actually hoping to have our third here today at mLearn, but Vish had to stay behind. So Vishwanath,
Shivaswamy. Yep.
Swami Vishwanath. This is Pooja. This is Dr. Risa Blair's fault. I never had any problem saying Shivaswamy Vishwanath before, but then Dr. Risa Blair from FedEx, who's here in the room laughing hysterically, last about how difficult it is to say Shivaswamy Vishwanath. And so we don't call him that anyway. We all call him Vish.
Vish.
So just call him. In fact, Vish is famous. You may not know Shivaswamy Vishwanath, but you know.
We know Vish Adobe.
Vish. He answers technical questions on forums. He works a lot with users individually. He's really an incredible guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's a lot of people don't know. That I always think we should tell them things about us individually. You learned on the last eLearn chat that I paint. Dr. Jaising, I think you need to know that she's an incredible fan of barbecue. And I think that about Vish, you should know that he started in agriculture. So Vish took me on a tour of parts of India and introduced me to the food and the values of coconut milk and all kinds of things like that. So we've also just added a new person who's providing support for our social media functions, and his name is Aditya. So if you see on the social media, you start to see answers from Aditya, and you start to see Aditya kind of contributing in different ways. He's coming in and supporting the evangelists. Believe it or not, there is so much conversation about Adobe Captivate every day that even if we cannot keep up. So Aditya, he looks at the world every day and he sends us messages and says, did you know they're saying this on LinkedIn? Or did you know this is happening on YouTube? Oh, this is happening somewhere in the world. Aditya's amazing.
It is.
You don't know that you need it, and then when you have it, you can't live without it. So that's Aditya's one.
What's his Twitter handle, Alan?
Aditya's Twitter handle is
it's ADITYA, right?
I don't think it's just ADITYA. I think it's Aditya something. Pooja's gonna find it, and then she will chat it for us.
Awesome.
Other questions, guys?
Now, we had one question about the e-learning suite and if that's imminent or if that's coming up soon for those who have the e-learning suite.
It's the worst kept secret in software. If you open up Captivate, you'll see that on the splash screen of your downloaded version of Captivate, it says upgrade to Adobe eLearning Suite 6. So obviously it's coming. Yeah, obviously it is coming, and that's almost all I'm allowed to say about it, is that I know that there is a button to upgrade to it. We know that it's coming fairly soon. The pattern in the past has been that eLearning Suite will follow slightly, and that's because the engineering team needs time to make sure that all of the different products are integrated really effectively with Captivate. And we also need time to make sure that we can make enhancements to the various products that come along with it. Of course, the eLearning Suite has been well known for the multi-scope packager and other kinds of things. So there could be surprises in there that will be delightful, that go along with all the delightful surprises that are in Captivate 6.
Sounds good. So any other things happening in the chat room right now?
I think they're all just having fun. They're all just excited that we have so many guests on all at once. So they're giving each other a hard time. They're having fun.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah,
well, you know,
I'm hearing about scotch and beer and all kinds of other neat e-learning stuff.
You know, the beer I think is Leva and
and Steve.
And Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody started on the pre-release, started a discussion of where the best beers are, and we should all have celebratory toasts. And this was an awesome pre-release behind the scenes. The people were incredibly supportive and continue to be incredibly supportive. I've had so many people on the pre-release say to me that they have been so delighted to work with a team, an engineering team, a support team, a management team, a marketing team, who listens to everything they say and really cares deeply and tries to really implement. I mentioned to somebody the other day, Rod Ward started a website called Idea Scale for Captivate. So it's a Captivate 6 idea scale, and on that site, all of those features were features that people from the community submitted and said they wanted to have. And if you go and look at that site, you're going to marvel at how many of those features were the features that actually ended up in Captivate 6. And that's what this team is like. I mean, they listen to everybody. They really care. They're always open-minded. They're always trying to be a part of both the inside community and the external community. I don't think I can ever recall working with a team, an engineering team, that's been so open to suggestions and solutions and really tried to make the product the most incredible it could be. And it really shows. I really encourage people, download Captivate 6. You are going to fall in love instantly.
One question I see here, Alan, is will the e-learning suite be subscription-based also? Not sure if you're at liberty to answer that question just yet.
Exactly, Colleen. I can't answer that question at this time, but
okay.
All I can really tell you about it is that yes, there's something going on there, and
I can say this for you, and this is something that Adobe, I think, Narayan or somebody made a comment publicly that they are going to probably apply the subscription model to just about all the products. So with taking that in mind, there's probably a good chance that's also going to go on subscription. It seems to be, and it's actually interesting. Right now, you've got two major leaders in the industry. You've got Apple and you've got Adobe, both in essence lowering the price of the software quite dramatically. If you think of what Apple's done with Final Cut Pro and everything, it went from a $1,200 package to $300. That's a huge difference. And they made it accessible to just about anybody. And I think Adobe's doing the same thing right now. And it's good for the industry. It's definitely good for all the consumers, or all us end users. So I think we're going to see some good fun things with all this.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, Rick. Shantanu, our leader, has really made clear that this is the way forward, and obviously we believe that he's 100% right. Making the software accessible to a broader group of people is really what it's all about, because in the end it comes back to Adobe's mission, which is facilitating creativity for people in order to create a more effective kind of communication system. It's It's really a wonderful fundamental core philosophy and mission. And to do that, this just falls directly in line with Adobe's core mission, that we want to facilitate that creative process, whether you're in the e-learning world or whether you're in the world at large. It's absolutely along the lines of that mission. And I think it's beautiful because now I hear people who say to me, I could never afford to have it, but now I can. That I hear all the time, and it just absolutely makes me thrilled. Because I think that we'd be a more creative world if more people had access to these amazing tools.
That's absolutely true.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, Alan, real quick question for you. Adobe has one product that's really fun. It's a brand new product. It reminds me very much of Flash back in the early days, and that's Adobe Edge.
Yes.
Are there any plans to integrate Edge, or at least Edge animations, into Adobe Captivate? We've just started playing with Edge, so we haven't really had a chance to see if you can do that or how it can be done. But Edge is cool. It's really a neat tool, and I could see some real fancy animations being put into Captivate through Edge. Any insight on that?
It's really cool. Normally what we do is when new products come out from Adobe, we let them come out and begin to find their own legs for a while before we begin to consider would that be a good part of the suite overall. But we're always considering, is there a product that would fit better into the suite so that it could facilitate the overall workflow for e-learning developers. So that's one of those things. I had a conversation with Shamir Ayapan, who is product manager. I've talked to various people internally. I've used Edge. I enjoyed Edge. It's a fantastic product. I was using it early on in its beta stages, and of course now it's available through the Creative Cloud. It's an amazing product, and it absolutely provides this amazing opportunity for integration with the HTML. I think we're just beginning to understand. Of course, the biggest thing in Captivate 6 is the HTML5 output. So you can actually output directly, natively to HTML5 from Captivate 6. That introduces a whole new world for us. And all kinds of conversations I've had with engineers have suggested to me that there will be more and more ways that you can integrate that outgoing content HTML5-wise that are going to be more and more facilitative of the kinds of uses that people have. I think what we've seen as a tradition with Captivate is that it's been customizable and it's been extensible. It's really the only solution out there that you can easily extend with widgets. HTML5 widgets have been enabled to coexist now right side by side with the Swift widgets. So now if you've got your Swift widgets, you can actually have your HTML5 widget right there in together with it, and dynamically when that content is being published, it'll pick up on the HTML5 widget. And that's how the new smart learning interactions, I didn't show you those, but if you get a chance to look at the smart learning interactions, check it out on the tutorials. Those things are phenomenal, and that's how they go straight through from Captivate out to Swift, or straight through from Captivate out to HTML5. And all of that is a way of kind of saying there's no reason that we wouldn't expect that other things that produce HTML5 content should be able to then be integrated into your kinds of projects over time. So I think it's very realistic to expect that kind of growth and expansion, Rick.
That sounds great.
So Adobe Captivate 6 is customizable, it's extensible, and now it's affordable.
That's a great way to put it. We're going to have to hire you, Colleen.
Yeah. One more question I see here, and you've been talking about HTML5 quite a bit. Someone says, Captivate 6 won't publish to HTML5 if I select a quiz reporting to adobe.com. Is this by design?
Good question. So the quiz reporting that works in HTML5 is SCORM and AICC. So the SCORM is an awesome story with Captivate 6. What we've done is we've partnered up with a company called Rostiki, who makes the SCORM.com drivers. And the Rostiki SCORM.com drivers are really the industry standard for reporting your SCORM results. This means that really you absolutely don't have to worry with any of the major learning management solutions. You're going to get really great outcome from straight from the box right directly into your LMS, whether you're using SCORM or AICC. Now the Acrobat.com and the other reporting solutions, those solutions will not go out to HTML5 at this point. HTML5 is just for the reporting, the LMS reporting from HTML5 is just going to be AICC and SCORM.
Yeah, HTML5 is still pretty much the uncharted frontier. We're not there yet. It's getting there.
exactly right.
I mean, the standard's not even finalized yet.
Well, exactly. I love the way, Rick, that you address this issue because you're straight up with people, and I think that's the way that companies need to be. In fact, in Captivate 6, you're going to find a new window called an HTML5 tracker, and this I think of this as the transparency window, right? This is the legitimacy that kind of comes. I'm so proud to work for Adobe because they do this kind of thing with a project, right? There's an HTML5 tracker. It opens up. If something doesn't work, like a rollover, you can't use a rollover on a touchpad or a touch device. So a rollover isn't going to work on HTML5. If that's the case and it's in your project, what do? They put it right into the HTML5 tracker. And if you click on that object in the HTML5 tracker, it'll take you right to that object in your project. So you don't have to dance around, dig through support forums, try to find out, oh, that doesn't work in this particular HTML5 whatever. You can just click on it, and it'll take you right to it. And then you can figure out, what am I going to do to replace it? In the case of a rollover, you would replace it with a click box. So I think that's such a wonderful thing because it does accept that there is this sort of flux in the standard. There are some things that maybe aren't going to work right out of the box. So you've got that solution that's there to actually help you clean it up, get it ready to go, and do your job, which is to actually produce the e-learning content and get it onto your iPad.
Well, also for people who haven't developed in either Flash or HTML, the Flash model is very different from the HTML5 or even the HTML model. And what happens, all the objects that are currently, and I say currently, not supported in HTML5 all have to do with Flash movie clips. As soon as that gets re-engineered, that's a lot of work when you go from a Flash environment into an HTML5 environment. HTML5 supports rollovers really well, but not in a movie clip fashion. So you've got to really re-architect that whole thing. Once that happens, I think then you'll see full implementation of HTML5, and I imagine that's not going to be that far down the stretch. But everything I'm seeing right now that's not supported has to do with movie clips. So just a little technical tidbit there.
That are holding back as limiters. And
right.
John, who did most of the implementation of HTML5 from the engineering team, is absolutely miraculous. And to hear him explain where we're going with this is just absolutely amazing. He actually came and did an e-seminar on HTML5 with me about a month ago, and he talked pretty deeply about what's going on with HTML5. And we'll probably have him on again in one of those e-seminars to talk more about what's the latest and what's kind of changing and what's in flux. Because really, I mean, if you want to have a deep understanding of HTML5, Chandranath is absolutely the source.
Sounds great. Is that Chandra?
Chandra, right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I know Chandra. I've met him.
Chandra. Chandranath Bhattacharya is his full name.
Yep.
So, Rick, it's 8. I see 8:59. I know we had a marathon session today. A lot of folks.
It was good. It went really quickly. And we didn't. And I know we didn't cover about 3/4 of the new things. So,
right. This is just one of their teasers.
It's a teaser. Actually,
it's a teaser.
Feel free to download the product. They have free trials.
30-day trial. Yeah.
And if you have the product and you're looking to upgrade, it's a good time to do it. It's not a bad time at all. I think you'll be real happy with this version. I know we've been, everyone knows I've been a beta tester for a long time with Adobe, so we've been involved and just really like what's going on with this version and the direction it's taking. So this is all good. And the interface is really clean right now, so real happy with that one. We can all see it well.
Yeah, and it's affordable. So even if you run out of your 30-day trial, there's that month-to-month pricing that Alan mentioned a little bit earlier. So if you're not completely sold after 30 days, you can try it for another month or two before you plunge into a subscription or buying the product.
That's exactly right. Exactly
well,
right.
Sounds good. Well, Alan, as always, it's been a pleasure having you on, and I hope you have a good time over there at eLearn, and just stay busy. Not that you won't.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you very much, Alan. Thanks to you and Pooja and Steve and everyone who's there in your room. You guys have a great time and a great conference.
Yep. So what we're going to do is end the actual recording, and we will be right back live. Bye, everyone.